as per usual. All right, I'm recording, and I've got everybody. Let me just crop this real quick. Just make this a little nicer. How are you doing, Nabeshin? How's your week?
Okay.
Work, yeah. So not good. Stop asking. I'm just kidding. No, I'm like in that malaise of every day is like the same for me, and I don't know what day of the week it is, and my body hurts every day, so it's more it's one of those things. All right, there we go. Sorry, I had to find the crop option. All right, let us begin. We're not live, just as a reminder. I sent out a tweet to remind folks as well. I thought about pulling questions and things for you, Nabeshin. The only reason I didn't want to is because like I didn't want to like make you feel worse on the show, because I don't know what we're gonna end up talking about, but maybe a couple of things. So like reminiscing.
Yeah, I don't even know what this show is right now, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be mostly just a normal show. Although I wrote some stuff down that we missed that maybe we should talk about, because it's been a bit. All right, let's do this. Let's get this thing rolling. It's my inhaler. Take a moment. Does anybody need to grab water or anything? Take that as a
nope.
No. All right. It is Saturday, January 2nd, 2021, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions Podcast. I am Alex O'Neill, your host this evening, morning, and night. And joining me, as always, are Mr. Scott Guthier.
Hello.
Tony Horvath.
Hey.
And Brian Nabeshin Jackson.
Goodbye.
For folks who don't know, welcome back to Irrational Passions Podcast. We've been off for a little bit, a month and a half. Just about. Last episode we did was November 22nd, I think. It's been mostly my fault and being unwell for folks out of the know. But this is a big episode. We're coming back. It's 2021. Happy New Year, boys. Happy New Year, everybody listening.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. If you are not tuned to Twitter or other sources of information about this podcast, this is Nabeshin's last episode as a regular host. What do you have to say for yourself? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, at least he's given us a heads up instead of the other people who just dipped.
Yeah, who just ghosted away into the void. No, yeah, it's momentous. It's been the four of us for a while, and it's not like Nabeshin's never going to be on again. So he just can't be on every week. And we're also, just because of where I'm at and how hard it's been for me these last couple weeks, and we missed a lot of episodes, we're going to be doing bi-weekly shows with Tony, Scott, and I starting this week. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back with the next episode. I'm hoping that'll give me more time to get my life in order, but also like get people to come on the show and kind of get us in a new swing of things. But I don't know, man. It's a new year. It's new us. It could be we could do new segments. We could do dumb stuff. The world is our oyster. But this is our swan song for Brian Nabeshin Jackson, which will be a mostly normal podcast. I promise. But yeah, that's the update, general update, housekeeping update for Irrational Passions. If this is your first episode, well, just think of it as like this is like season 3 of Irrational Passions Podcast. It's just getting interesting now. This is where the real plot twists come into play. But yeah, we're gonna keep
season 3.
I don't know, like in
season 2 sounds like it lasted a long ass time.
Well, remember when we got to season 2, it was like 400 episodes in, it was like, all right, so season 1 was just like the first 400 episodes. Season 2 was like the one that fans had to go online and ask them to like bring the show back, and it was like a short.
Oh, and then it's not as good.
It's not as good, yeah. But season 3 is when they're gonna like bring in a new cast member, and it's gonna get weird. No, I'm not committing to that. No, it's new era. I don't know. When we sat down and talked about like what we want to do, I felt good about us doing this, and yeah, Nabeshin's not gone forever. He'll stop by every now and again if we can rope him into it. You're just a busy boy. You got a lot going on in your life. I think that's it. That's housekeeping. The show must go on. We're gonna keep doing
on site
it
in the last few weeks.
We're gonna we'll get to it. All right. I got a plan. There's a couple of things.
I like to represent my other boys as well. That are not
no, you're fine. And we've been doing stuff too. But there's a couple of things that we should like talk about because it's been like a month and a half since we've done one of these shows. I just want to like gauge the room on some things. And I wrote a couple things down because like this first one will tell you how long it's been since we recorded a podcast. They announced a sequel to The World Ends With You. I think they did this like 2 days after we recorded the last podcast we did, called Neo: The World Ends With You. It's coming to Switch summer 2021 this year. I just want to bring that up because I texted Scott about it, and I know Nabeshin, you're also a fan of it. Thoughts? Did you guys watch this trailer? Does this look cool?
I'm not gonna bother watching the trailer.
Sure, fair. Scott Guth, your move. Did you see it, Nabeshin?
I did.
Is this looking exciting? Are you guys excited for another one of these games? Even though if it's not on the DS, it's not going to have that kind of unique control scheme.
I'm not particularly excited for that exact reason.
Sure, yeah.
That's what made the game stand out a lot more.
Right. It's what made that game. I don't think that anything else becomes too diminished for it, but playing it without the dual aspect, especially if they don't add a sizable replacement for it, it doesn't hold up too well.
Sure, yeah. We don't know.
It'll probably lean in more with the like the fashion aspect of it. Hopefully they'll keep like that leveling system that I really enjoy. Like you can just pretty much like make yourself level 1 the entire game if you just want to. You don't have to level up if you just like this. Make it more. You can make it as challenging as you would like to in that game. But like the battle system, it'll be like I don't know how interesting it can make it because like what made that thing unique was really what made it stand out from everything else from the time. But that was like 2008 or whatever. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they showed like combat in the trailer, but they didn't show like how it works like mechanically. And I wonder if there's pressure internally to like figure out a way to do combat as unique and interesting as they did that first time around.
Make it a character action game.
Yeah, I mean,
everything's that's a joke I made.
Yeah. No, that's fair. It's just like that's probably like the easiest answer, but it's also like the least interesting. But yeah, I didn't like that those games. These two games have such like an aesthetic, a style that I think is really cool. So I'm excited that there is another one of them that exists. But I imagine we'll learn more this year. That was like also when that was announced, it was such like a completely out of nowhere thing, which was very good. They put that Switch port out last year, I think, right? Like last October, of the first World Ends With You. So I kind of thought this might happen, but it happened faster.
It was like telegraphed a long time ago. It was just more of like I don't know, like I don't even know. It's not unexpected, but it's like, oh, okay. It's like that's pretty much what it is.
It's exactly how Valkyria Chronicles happened when they remastered Valkyria Chronicles 1, and then they announced like Valkyria Chronicles 4 a little bit after that. That was a very return to form of that franchise. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, but when I look back on it, weren't we both of the mind that it's like, while I would love to see a sequel to this thing, it's completely uncalled for in the scope of what happened.
Yeah.
So it'd be closer to a Final Fantasy sequel than your traditional sequel.
Sure. Okay.
I don't really call those games sequels.
Yeah.
There are certain elements to what I saw in that trailer, by the way, that's like it makes it seem like it might be a prequel in a way, because like there's certain there's specifically a character who got pretty much died in the last game that's in the trailer for this game. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I feel like people do prequels too.
But it has to be but it has to be a sequel. And the only reason I say that is because they use modern technology. They use like touch phones, and like when that game came out, it was still flip phone. So I don't know.
And phones are a big part of that, of like that game, right?
It would be a massive fumble for them to go and do that.
Yeah,
it's a prequel, but all the technology's new. I'm looking at you, Halo. Fuck you.
Halo Reach, right? It was no, I'm just kidding. The Game Awards happened. I pulled two things from the Game Awards, which was that Sephiroth was announced for Super Smash Brothers. He's out now. He's great. I love it. It's super fun. And then the other thing I pulled was that they announced a new Mass Effect game. Because I know Nabeshin had feelings on this. I don't know if you want to share those feelings. But Tony, I don't know if you had feelings on this too. Mass Effect, possibly a fourth Mass Effect, like a sequel to the Shepard trilogy.
I mean, hey, yeah, as long as it's better than Andromeda.
Yeah, I think the feeling that you and I, Nabeshin, had was just like they just announced Dragon Age 4 in this same, or they re-announced Dragon Age 4 in this same show, and then also BioWare is just like not in any position to deliver on any of these promises as a company.
Yeah, I basically just said they need to shut the fuck up. They're just
finish something before talking about another thing.
It's just a lot of things. Kind of like what Cyberpunk or CD Projekt need to do now. They need to like kind of not really like redeem themselves, but like
shut up and fix the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they promised that they're gonna fix Anthem, and that hasn't happened. They're promising a lot with Dragon Age, and more people are leaving that studio than staying. And I just, there was like a cry room. There was like a room that people went to cry in that company, and I haven't heard anything about the labor practices of management and stuff since then. That's made me think like that stuff isn't possibly still happening. So it's like I have no faith in this studio. I just don't know. But there was a lot of I liked that announcement because in normal circumstances when none of this is happening, I think it would have been an exciting thing. Maybe not after Andromeda, but like so many people were super bummed out about it because of like all these reasons. The other thing was I wrote down Cyberpunk. Did you guys want to talk about Cyberpunk? The discourse?
Not really. I have the game, but like just waiting until it's actually something I can play on my PS5 before I actually into it. So that's where I am with that. My friend Katie got it. She loves it. And like it's definitely the general thing of like the games media circle, the discourse on Twitter circle, and then like the actual people who actually play the fucking games circle.
Yeah.
And like, and this is just like one of those things where it's just like, oh, if you don't know, and if it's not like something that like you should expect more out of, I guess you say, sure, then it's like it's not a problem. And Katie, who's not really into like most of this gaming like jargon that we do online. I mean, she had there's crashes and stuff like that, but like she's been like brought up with this because like she's a big fan of Bethesda games. She plays the Elder Scrolls and she even played Fallout 76, and like there were problems with that game, but like for her it wasn't like they'll iron it out, it's fine type of thing. I have faith in them though, and they did fix those games for what you can consider that be fixed.
Yeah.
So
they did end up fixing the PS3 version of Skyrim, so I mean we can count that as a victory. Yeah,
I don't know. Is that exactly true?
That is true. Yeah, they remember they had like that team of people in Sony that like fixed it, and they put out the DLC eventually for it.
No, but I don't believe you're wrong.
It did happen. I know it. It was a long time ago. It was 2012 to be fair. So like or 2013. So yeah.
I don't particularly remember there being a problem with it in the first place. I'm going to be honest with you.
The PS3 version had like a memory leak issue that if your if you saved too many times, which is very ironic considering the cyberpunk situation, but if you saved too many times, like eventually you couldn't, like it would corrupt the save, and like the game would run slower and load slower the more you played it in a session.
I remember her going through that because she bought it eventually on PS3, and then like when it got to that point, she like pretty much had to delete the game and then reinstall the game every time, which was, I guess, fine because like that game's like actually really small.
Yeah, it's like 8 gigs. It's not bad.
Yeah, but like eventually she just bought herself a 360 version, and then she just played through that, and then like eventually she bought it. Then she went back to the PS3 version after that. Got fixed, and she played it through there, and then
got it.
bought on PS4.
Remember they were like, we can't put out the DLC for the PS3 version because it's broken, so it's just gonna be on the. And then, God, that was so crazy. You know what? Video game discourse hasn't changed a bit. It's very true. Like the thing about Cyberpunk and Skyrim on PS3s. Yes, that's a wild trip. Yeah. Tony, did you get Cyberpunk?
No, I watched a couple streams of it, and I might play that game when it is done.
Yes, that's my feeling as well. I think that's where we're all at. Scott, were you in the
Pretty
same
much.
boat? Yeah.
Yeah. It's I'm going to be building a new computer that can max most things out.
Yeah, it's true.
So for most high fidelity games, I'm just waiting until then. So
yeah,
it just so happened to be that Cyberpunk didn't quite work either.
Yeah,
but it didn't matter to me.
Yeah, that did work out then. Yeah, I got it on Xbox. You've been playing on PlayStation right now, Nabeshin?
PS5. Yeah.
PS5. So it's fine. Like it's fine. You know, it runs. I've watched the Digital Foundry videos. It runs worse than the PS4 version running on PlayStation 5. But it's, you know.
I mean, like, yes and no, because it's like the PlayStation 5 version is like it's 60 frames. For like majority of it, like and like Xbox has actual changes that you can make, like, you know, your performance mode or fidelity mode. So like you can get it as 30 frames and just keep it a solid 30 and have it like, I think it's like around 1500p or something like that.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm like ruined on 30 frames per second now. I'm fully just trying to run everything at as high as power as I can. So that's so in that mode, like it's a little bit less consistent, but it's, you know, it's someone pointed out to me that like if you are walking down the street and like a car leaves your peripheral vision, if you turn around, the car just disappears. And then I did that in the game. I was like, I'm not gonna play this right now. I'm just gonna wait. Just because like there's like no traffic patterns. Just like I started noticing those things as soon as someone told me, and I was like, I'll just wait until it's patched, and I'll have a good time with it. I'm not too worried about it. It seems cool though. I like.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm honestly of the opinion that they should scrap the PS4 version.
Yes.
I've just.
The base console version.
I've just taken a look at what some of this stuff requires, and you're fundamentally getting a game that works different.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and it's like because it's in order for the stuff to work as intended, you have to have an SSD. You can't push the data you need without it.
I've watched, you know, video of that OG Xbox and base PS4 versions, like not Pro and stuff, and it is bad. Like I have not seen, especially thinking of this as like a quote unquote AAA video game. And listen, I understand that everyone's had the discourse. It is, in my humble opinion, unacceptably bad. So yeah, I think they should have scrapped those versions of those games. But then it's that weird middle ground where like those run on PS5 and Xbox Series X, okay, so. But they're, you know, it's bad. That game shouldn't have come out. They should have waited and not put that game out quite yet. So, for many reasons, and yes, they should have scrapped those base console versions. But yeah, I don't think any of us are gonna discourse about that. That was all I wrote down. Is there anything else that happened? Any other Game Awards things that happened, or video games things?
Nothing important.
Yeah, I feel like those were the big ones that I wanted to make sure we talked about.
Did you even talk about having a next-gen console? I don't know. I don't even know why
I talked about it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, did you want to talk about it, Nabeshin? Your PlayStation 5 lifestyle feels good, right?
It's fine. Just more cumbersome. That's all.
Yeah. Why does it take
Just
so many button presses to put my goddamn console in sleep mode?
basically, yeah, the shit like that. It's general shit like that. And it like it's fine, but it's like it's annoying. It's also one of those things where it's like just like thinking about it in general, like this is like the first time and probably forever that like I have a console that makes my other console like completely irrelevant. Like
Yeah.
this, like I don't need it at all for literally any reason unless I'm playing Afro Samurai 2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You're a big Afro Samurai fan. So no, I'm in the same boat. Like I gave Damien my my PS4 Pro. I was like, I've no use for this. And I have the digital one, so I was just like, just keep it in the house in case I have to put one of these discs in or something.
And like last year I bought this fucking Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
right.
and it's like because you know me, like I'll give you my console, I don't give a shit, but like I can't give that up. Like and that's like this like the only like selfish thing I have in my room now. Like this like over like $500 I have to import it and all this other bullshit thing. But like this whole thing that I had to get for this console that I love, it's just like a display piece in my room now. So that's where it's gonna stay.
Just
like I would give it to
wall-mounted,
somebody. I like I have cousins I can give
No,
this to, but it's like
no,
oh well.
nope.
This is for
Yeah,
you.
No, you don't.
This is
That is not just a PS4.
that's
We
memories.
can't. That's not that. Yeah. that is not just a PS4 at that point. Nope.
That's love right there. That's the power of friendship. That's one sky, one destiny right there you have in your room. No, yeah, that's fair. It's been a weird thing too, like just thinking about that. Just like because I had my PS4 in my room for a long time. I was like, I really can't even think of a thing that I need to do this. Like I have slowly over the last like 3 weeks re-gotten the like 4 games that I had only on disc that I needed to get again. And it's like, all right, I don't need any of most of these discs anymore. I don't need that. So I gave it to my roommate, and he's been playing Red Dead 2 on it with his 4K TV. He's been having a great time. So I was like, hell yeah, as long as it works out.
Agreed. We shall not get into the Red Dead or GTA tangent right now.
No.
But we're just gonna skim over it. Probably don't play those games online.
Yeah. No, he doesn't like online video games, so he's good. Damien's a pure boy. That's it. I think those are the big what we missed, what we should talk about topics. You guys want to talk about video games? Video juegos?
I do.
I was accused by Jarrett that nobody says video juegos, and I was like, oh, I know 4 people that do actually.
I know several people who speak Spanish who say that.
Oh, okay, video juegos. I don't know what Spanish word for video is.
Don't gaslight Jared on.
That's too fair. I just gotta give Jared shit.
No. It's video juegos. That's in Spanish. There is no.
There's no video.
Yeah, well, they just pronounce it differently.
Oh, okay, got it. It's accented. Tony.
Yeah,
Hey. Sorry, it's video games time.
Oh, dude.
What you been playing, man? It's been like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Anything cool?
Sorry, I almost just died.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been playing a lot of Eternal Return Battle Royale.
Yes, which you
Black
talked about
Survival.
last time we recorded.
Yeah. And I think last time I was like a weekend. And the question was like, is this one of those like love it till you hate it games?
Yes.
And now it's been like a month and a half. I have 500 hours in the game.
Question answered.
Well, no. It's do you hate it yet?
No, the game's great.
Okay.
Right after this podcast, I'm playing in an Ultimate Bravery tournament invitational.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. The community for the game is small enough that like we know all of the big names know each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm friends with everybody, and being able to go around and play with everybody who's playing the game, all the players who are good at the game, has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, like
Gosh, Tony, you're so popular.
you're so.
That's not what I said.
It is. I will say it is really cool that I feel like you manage to make friends in every game that you kind of commit yourself to.
Sure.
Whereas, like, I'm sitting here like playing Kingdom Hearts for the 30th time. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody but Nabeshin and Scott about Kingdom Hearts. Like, I don't give a fuck about it. So I don't know. I think that's cool. But yeah, you showed us a stream last week. Of like, I guess the queue. If you're gonna do a public queue, it's not gonna be a good time for you.
Well, yeah, they made an update last week that introduced ranked queues to the game, where they still haven't expanded their advertising for the North American servers, so the game isn't super popular for North American people to play. And so our server doesn't have enough people to support how many queues and how much queue diversity they wanted, because basically the game was already split into solos, duos, and squads. So there are already 3 queues that had to fill, and a lot of the time in those queues you might wait, and there might be like 1 or 2 lobbies going off, so like it'd be like one group of 18, and then when enough people from those 18 die, it backfills the second game, and that game starts. And then when enough people from that game die, it backfills the first lobby, and that game starts. So you wait in queue for like 15 minutes, because the game typically lasts around 20, for enough people to die that are playing that mode currently to get you back in, at least in squads and duos. And solos, it was a little bit faster, just because you don't need to have a couple people to queue with. People can just queue up. Then they added ranked matches, which not only did it double the amount of queues, because there's normal mode and then ranked mode, it also gives everybody a certain score for their skill, like an MMR or a ranking. And they tried to make the matching stricter to keep people of similar rank with other people of similar rank. But basically what that did was it split the game so hard that everybody placed in bronze, and then as soon as you get to silver, your queue times go way longer. And if you get to gold, you basically can't find a game.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of in that situation. They've since then adjusted it. They closed ranked duos completely, and now it's on it's on a rotation. So like Monday it's ranked solos, Tuesdays ranked squads, Wednesdays ranked solos, Thursdays ranked squads.
Got it.
Friday is solo. I think it's the other way around, but then Friday and Saturday are both squads, then Sunday is solos again. So games are popping a little bit faster since then, but it's still like kind of slow. So it's kind of waiting to see, what'll happen if we can get more people to come to the game, or what adjustments they'll make. We'll see.
Yeah, but you guys have been playing in like private matches just to kind of circumvent that. It's
so to circumvent the queue times and stuff, and especially before they made that one change that limited the actual amount of ranked queues that were available, it was a lot of like whatever streamer is streaming the game will host custom games. So it's either squads, duos, or solos. You just join in to a private lobby that will pretty much immediately fill up, and then you just play the game with the game with the streamer, and then when the streamer dies, they'll commentate the match or whatever they want to do. Yeah. So that kind of temporarily bandaged the problem, at least for us.
Yeah, that's a cool solution too. I mean, that just shows how small, I guess, the community is.
Yeah, it's been fun, at least for me, because I'm not a huge content creator, which is kind of silly to say as a person who's been doing a podcast for how many years.
Sure.
But I'm not like on the grind of like making YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun to get to know and become good friends with all of the people who are the bigger names for this game and have influence on their videos and stuff like that. I just play games with them offline and create some good friends. So that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, Eternal Return's still going. It's a fun game. New character came out that's a little magician lady.
Oh,
she's okay.
Oh, sad.
She's like, no, she's fine. It's just her abilities are like, they sound like they're going to be really good, but they don't do like the one ability that's like her cornerstone, which polymorphs people. Doesn't do enough to make it worth being a cornerstone ability, so she just kind of feels a little awkward.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know. So it can and probably will be adjusted too. So hopefully she will find her identity at that point.
Do you think this game still has like the potential for big pickup?
I mean, it already is doing that in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's a Korean company. They just got a huge investment too, like a large investment from whoever to keep making the game. So
Yeah, probably. I was
It might have been. I
check.
don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, it was like a $22 million investment or something. So they'll keep making the game for a while, and I'm assuming that eventually the advertising will come to NA, and we'll see how the growth of the game goes at that point. So that I played that. I went back and I played the game that was the precursor to this.
Yeah.
Which was just called Black Survival.
Okay.
It was
Tell me about
originally yeah, sure. It was originally just a mobile game that has been re-released on Steam, and thank God it got re-released on PC.
Wow.
Because the difference between playing that game on mobile and how it actually plays on PC is crazy. Like, the game is basically a press R and then press V simulator as fast as you possibly can, because it's like a first person thing. You're looking at a screen that you go to a zone and you press R to search the zone. If there's another person in that zone, is in a 10-player lobby, you might find that person and then you can attack them by pressing R again. And then they attack you back. You might need to eat food that you've created to heal yourself to keep fighting, but it all happens in these searches. So you search, so you either find an item, which is more common, or you find a player if a player's in the same one of 12 zones or whatever that you're in, and you're trying to find all these items and craft things very much like Eternal Return. A lot of the recipes are even the same. So you go through these zones, find items, and you're making weapon, armor, and food to fight these other guys, and it's battle to be the last man standing. Zones close over time, just like in Eternal Return. So it's weird. It's I didn't play it for too long. I got pretty decent at it, and then I was like, I don't want to devote the time to getting this good at the micro and like spamming my keyboard like I'm playing fucking StarCraft.
Yeah.
To do all these actions and like recognize the PNGs for the items that I want in a millisecond, and then dismiss the item or pick it up.
Yeah.
And do all the crafting instantly. Like, it's crazy. You should watch someone who's really good at Black Survival play the game, because you can barely see what's happening on your screen, but stuff is happening.
Yeah. That's, the first person perspective sounds interesting too.
Well, it's you're not, it's not like you're walking around. You are just picking a location, then it switches the scene to that location on the screen.
Yeah.
Then you press R and the screen shakes up and down a little bit like you're stepping forward.
Yeah.
And a little lamp in the middle, like, does a little circle. And when you life this game for like an entire night, you're literally just staring at this little lantern going circles for hours. So it was interesting to learn the game and kind of see, after having several hundred hours of experience with the successor to the game, which is a 3D, more battle royale type thing, to go back and play this 2D, more mobile game like look at it. So a lot of the characters that are coming to Eternal Return are Black Survival characters too.
Sure.
So being able to go back and see all of like the 100 characters or whatever, less than 100, but all of those in their original form is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. It sounds like a pretty big jump too from one to the other. So
yeah, it's definitely a different style of game. I think that they're both good games, but I prefer Eternal Return. I think that it's a bit more like tactical and strategic rather than just spammy. Like, sure. I think that there's a lot of strategy to getting through all of that stuff. Well, it's like playing StarCraft.
Yeah.
And it's just a different game. So I tried that, and then a wipe happened on Christmas Eve for Tarkov.
Oh, okay.
So I've been playing a lot of Tarkov.
I imagine you're in the similar boat, Scott.
Similar boat.
But that was all you had to say about Tarkov? Just a lot of Tarkov?
I was going to let Tony go first.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I've been playing with the guys who are playing Eternal Return. Several of them were already Tarkov players.
Nice.
And every 4 other ones just bought the game to play with us this wipe. So we've been going through, I'm kind of like the one map that I played a lot of in the last wipe that I really played Tarkov was Interchange. So I'm teaching all of them how to run Interchange and all the nuances of that map. And then there's another one of us who really played a lot of Reserve and Labs. So he's taking the reins for those couple maps. And it's fun going through with people who kind of had different experiences with the game previously, and sharing knowledge and doing all that. And these new guys are learning and figuring stuff out as well. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm worse at Tarkov than I was before, I'll tell you that. I'm losing a lot more fights than I used to.
Yeah. Those reflexes, you got to hone them again.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But it's been it's been good fun.
How you feeling, Scott, about Tarkov?
I'm doing a bit of a similar thing to Tony. So I'm teaching a different group of people how to play Interchange.
Sure.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna just throw them under the bus. They're real bad, and it's real funny.
Excellent. I imagine
Yeah.
Scott's like All Might, just standing above them, and all these kids
No,
running around.
I'm not that good either, but it's when we win a fight, it's me winning a fight.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for, I guess, being bullet sponges.
It's not even that.
That's fun. As long as you're having a good time. I know, like, a bad party can sometimes bring the room down, but
Like, for example, I've been trying to get, because it's me and 3 other people, and I've been trying to get two people past the first quest in the game, technically, which is kill 5 scavs on customs. So I take them in one by one, and I'm like, okay, this is a scav. This is how you avoid sight. When you pop out, line up a headshot, hit him in the head, and we can move on to the next one. And of course, what happens is they aim too low.
mm-hmm.
They hit them in the chest, and then they just stay in plain sight, and they try to shoot again.
And it doesn't go well for them, I imagine.
And they don't move. So
the scav aimbots them and one-shots them.
they don't one-shot them, but they'll get 3 shots on them, and then the scav will hit them, because the scav will have hit them in more of their vital areas, while the player would have hit the scav in the arm 4 times.
Yeah. That would have killed them. What are you doing?
No. Not when you have bullets that don't do a very high flash damage, which they don't. They're using scrub bullets. But,
Yeah.
a headshot on an unarmored scav with just about any bullet's going to kill them.
Yeah. This sounds like more like my experience I would have with the game, like, oh, I got this, and then, like, I just shoot the arm, and it's like, all right, I'm just going to stay out in the middle of this railway.
I'm pretty sure I did this with 2 people 3 separate times each, and they didn't get a single scav kill on either of those runs. One of them let a scav get so close that I had to save them by killing it myself, and then just about each time that they died, I had to clean up for them.
Well, I mean,
and try to get their stuff out.
You're like Papa Bear coming around and making sure everybody's okay. I'm gonna keep drawing analogies until I find one that fits.
I will say the most interesting fight that we had so far, because I'm realizing that if I take them in to try and fight, they're going to lose the fight and get upset. So I have found that you can, in Interchange, you can camp the Emercom building. Or the Emercom room.
Sure.
Simply because the glass counts as somewhere between a level 1 or a level 2 vest. Or
okay.
Level 2 class armor. If your bullets can't penetrate that, they generally don't go through the glass at all.
Okay.
And if they can, they get the reduced damage of that class armor.
That's cool.
So, that being said, it's very, very hard for somebody to rush somebody who's camping inside.
Because they got that extra level of protection. That's cool. I like that it has like a
right.
measurable
Even if you use grenades, you have to, especially if you're in a group, you have to put yourself in my gun range to get in there.
Sure.
And if you didn't come prepared with good enough bullets, and like I'm also telling them to stay away from places by the window where they can shoot you,
mm-hmm.
and I make sure they have bullets enough to penetrate the window. And the window is in a place where if you look up to the window, there's very little other place for you to hit except for your head. Which it might seem like it doesn't make a difference, but when you have a large object and you're aiming at it, you generally go center mass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just reactionary instead of going for the head. So all of a sudden, when we're in that situation, everybody's aim becomes way better, including mine.
That's good. I like this strat. I don't like camping, but I like this strat.
If somebody opens this door, they're dead because there's a door opening animation. And their friend, if they have a friend, their friend can't shoot through them to get to us.
Yeah.
Their body will soak the bullets before their friend is dead, and they have to either get out of the way because they don't know exactly where his friend's getting shot from. They can't see the friends in front of them.
Now that's a bullet sponge. We got there.
Exactly.
Cool. So did that help your newbies out? Did that?
It helped them out quite a bit.
That's good.
It is how they actually won their first fight without me doing almost all of the work.
That's good. It's just camping. It's fine.
And it's just one of those things where I'm doing the normal run, but the reason I put them in there is because if we are sitting in there as people are trying to fight us versus anywhere else, because it's probably going to get into a fight anyway, might as well do it in a position where I give them the upper hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we're not going to sit there for any more than 5 minutes, but it's just in the beginning of the map, everybody's trying to get to the highest value loot zones as possible. Emercom happens to be in between some of those zones. So if they're not trying to fight us, I'm not trying to fight them.
Yeah.
All right. But if they come inside,
yeah, joke's on them.
Big joke's on them. Big mistake.
Big mistake.
We have yet to lose a fight inside of Emercom, and I think we've had 6.
Would you say that this Tarkov reset good thing overall? Bad thing?
Overall, a pretty good thing. They made a few balance changes to how money generation works that I'm a bit iffy on.
Sure.
It's not anything core to the game. It's all switching some numbers around. And the big one is they took Bitcoin from being worth 180K to almost 400K, so 390K and plus.
Jeez.
And it fluctuates. And it's like I only somewhat sort of understand what they're going for here.
Sure.
Because Tarkov has a problem where if the item isn't apparently useful, it falls down to vendor price because people don't have the excess money to spend on it.
Sure.
So if you inflate the money count, eventually everything that's useful will start to rise and inflate.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And if you do that to the regular items, then all that happens there is that the price for everything increases, so you've gone nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you do it just to the Bitcoin, then you actually get the inflation you're looking for.
Yeah.
So like when you put it this way, it's pretty smart. But there's a couple of other trades locked to Bitcoin that are now completely useless because the value of the gun itself, or the trades, is like half the value of vendoring a Bitcoin.
And this is like in-game Bitcoin, not real Bitcoin, right?
Correct.
Just to make sure. Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird specific change, but I mean, I guess we'll have to wait to see what the results are.
Right. And I'm just taking a look at it, and it's you can also get Bitcoin from the GPU farm.
Of course.
So, and it's the last I checked, it's still 3 Bitcoin per day. So you're generating passively 3 Bitcoin per day. So you're generating over 1 million rubles per day.
Jeez. Yeah, it just seems like conflates.
It's just one of those things where the market inflation rapidly accelerates. So if you're not with the curve of the game, or if you're not riding the curve of the game on wipe, it makes it that much more punishing to people who just don't.
Yeah,
because
to like jump
fantastic. Yeah, it's like fantastic. You hit level 10, you have access to the flea market now. Oh boy, you can't afford anything.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Makes new players really hard to jump in.
And then it's kind of looking like the stuff to make the Bitcoin farm then becomes that much more important to get. So the prices stay a little inflated because it has to be worth it.
They were just trying to simulate real life where those 3080s came out, and they're like, all right, Bitcoin's worth more now. we gotta start farming.
I don't know how that's going to play out, and I know that the brunt of it's not going to affect me because
sure.
At this point,
you're riding the wave, baby.
Yeah, I'm right. That's basically it.
I know. I've been listening. Don't worry. You and Tony are on the wave. You were there day one, so it shouldn't be a problem. But anybody that jumps in a couple weeks, they might be struggling. So we'll see.
Right, and in a game that works on wipes, it kind of seems like it kind of makes sense to say, "Oh, right, you started a month late. It's okay. Come back next wipe."
Sure. Kind of season.
Because eventually we get there anyway.
Yeah.
Eventually it's, oh, your average queue time because the amount of people that are playing this particular map is so low that you're waiting 10, 15 minutes every time, guaranteed.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what it's like in a couple weeks.
Or if not, it's, oh, you're playing with the same 6 people this map because everybody has something they either want to do with this map or they just like the map. Fantastic.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Mm-hmm. It makes the game much more predictable, makes the game much easier when that happens, but
as long as you're having a good time, I think as long as it's still fun. As long as
that's the thing, is that it makes the game, even the increased success might entice some people, but it doesn't work for me.
Sure. I get that. I totally do. Just real quick, Tony, that was all you'd been playing, right? It was Tarkov was the last game?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Scott, any other games you've been playing outside of Tarkov?
Yes, I found the recommended game that somebody recommended me where I couldn't remember the game name or the person who recommended it.
Sure,
I found it.
I think it was Nicole, if it's one of
Yeah. Yep, it's Fate Tactics.
Okay. Fate
I was like...
Yeah. Is this on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Okay. What do you think? What's Fate Tactics?
So it's pretty good. I'm not too far into it, but I think it's revealed all of its guards to me so far.
Okay.
So how this game works is that there's a set of leaders and a set of, we'll call them extras because I don't remember the exact terminology for them. And you have your set leaders are the people that you can customize more, and the extras, which are basically monsters that you fight, get placed on the field, and they can level up as well, but you don't really get to customize them. They are what they are. They do what they do.
Okay.
The game's controls are as simple as can be. You click to move, and every action has a different effect, and it's that same effect just about every time.
Okay.
Where and the difference between what happens is based on the characters that you have on the field. So, for example, the main character is a mage. If you have them wait, their next attack is a chain attack.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you just have them walk into an attack, their attack is the same standard cast that you get every time you do it.
So you can like delay to get a stronger attack.
You can. The other thing is they happen to have a special where if you kill something, the attack also gets empowered.
Okay.
So there's nuances like that in the game, but it is either you act on your teammate, you act on an enemy, or you wait, and those are the 3 options every character has. Okay. And those 3 options have a different effect on every character that you pick.
Sure. Is there like a lot of synergy between different characters too?
You could say that, but it's the most characters are synergistic with everybody, if that makes more sense.
Okay.
So if you're playing a buffer, it's not like that person's buff necessarily works extremely well on this character versus a different character. So if you're working with a defensive character and you toss them a defensive buff, their defense is going to go up the same as if you needed it on a mage.
Okay.
And then to even further push that point, there is a combo system in the game.
I like combo systems.
Where if you set melee, if you attack somebody with another melee unit next to them, the melee unit will attack with them.
Okay, that's cool. It's kind of like Fire Emblem, honestly. The not Fates, Awakening kind of introduced the stacking tactics, but if 2 people were adjacent to a thing, they could both attack, which is cool.
Right. And then it only works on melee units not ranged.
Yeah. Now, most important question, does it have directionals?
It does, but it is not as
important as like a Final Fantasy Tactics?
No, they make a big difference, but with the reduced options, the strategies to get around them and to reposition and everything makes it much less worth your while.
Sure.
It is more important to surround an enemy with melee units than to get at them from behind in most cases.
Sure.
There is a specific assassin unit that you get very early on where it's the further you move in one turn, the more of an attack bonus they get. And then the back attacks when you're in. Sorry, let's start from the top. The further you move distance, the more attack they get. If you wait a turn, they get cloaked. If you attack somebody from the back while cloaked, it's automatically a critical strike.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. It's a built-in. I'd call it a built-in super synergy. That seems a bit too strong.
Yeah, that sounds
and it's like
some rogue shit.
you get it way too early.
Sure.
So what you can pretty easily do is you send your tank in to the front, and or to the back, doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Back is preferred. Then you attack with the back, and that person faces your tank.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You send your assassin in to then attack their new back direction. And then the person faces your assassin, a combo goes off, now your tank also has a back attack.
Nice. That is cool.
But it's also like
incredibly overpowered.
It's like, why are you changing the person's direction when they get back attacked?
Yeah.
To allow that kind of damage to go off, because that also works on your side as well.
Yeah.
It kind of, the second you attack something, it kind of nullify if you're setting it up right, it kind of nullifies how directionals work in the first place.
Got it. Okay, that makes more sense to me now. Interesting. I mean, to be fair, it could just get harder and harder as it goes on.
It makes for an extremely useful damage multiplier, but I don't think I should be. When my characters do 10 damage each, normally,
mm-hmm.
And then through the buffs they do maybe 20, 30, I don't think I should be dealing 140 damage in one turn because of how all these systems play. Yeah. I don't think having that happen to me is like necessarily good, and I don't think swinging the game's balance so far in that one strategy, because I have yet to find anything that could ever hit that hard.
Sure.
I mean, I'm pretty early on, but
yeah, I would just keep playing at this point. It sounds like this could just be the tip of the spear in a lot of ways.
Right, and then as you level up, you get trait points, where you have 3 things to dip it into,
mm-hmm.
and they're not stacked. They're not permanent. You can just you can rearrange your trait points at will.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool, but at the same time, I have yet to find a strategy that is even comparable to as powerful as the one that they just hand over fist give you at the beginning of the game.
Sure. Yeah, that's pretty OP. Any tank assassin's combo, I feel like, is universally very good. I don't know, it sounds cool though that, like, I was looking at some art of it. It's Fae Tactics, right? FAE Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pretty.
So. I guess it's to me the art is more odd.
Sure.
Than nice.
Sure, it has like some quirkiness to it. Definitely, like the monsters and stuff look quirky for sure. I don't know. I like it. Oh, I'm excited to hear more about it. I assume. When did you start playing it?
Middle of December.
Okay.
After school ended.
Sure. Hey, look, you remembered a game from 2 weeks ago. I'm just saying, this was a point of contention, and I'm proud of you.
I mean, here's the issue, right?
Yeah.
If I go to trying to explain anything in particular that happened in the game, like I completely lost over the story. Can't help you with that.
I mean, if you're still early on, save that for later.
Can I?
Or hey, man, listen, you should go back to it. Fae Tactics is calling your name. Anything else you've been playing outside of these two?
I'm still playing some League every now and again.
Okay.
Although when the Escape from Tarkov drop hit, League has not been played since. A full drop.
Oh, wow.
I mean, League's not going anywhere.
No, I know. Trust me. I've been doing this podcast for 10 years. I know League's not going anywhere.
As much as you may wish it, it's not going anywhere.
It's the bane of my existence, as it should be.
I guess I'm still playing Genshin Impact.
Okay. The new area hasn't been added yet?
It has been.
Oh, shit.
It's a nice area.
It's a nice
area. It's a new expansion to the first area of Mondstadt, so you don't get a new character element from it.
Got it.
There's interesting story bits to it though.
Yeah.
And then they overhauled the way they did events, which made them much more interesting.
Okay, that's good.
But it is very much so not friendly to
new players.
Whoever doesn't, not new players, it's whoever doesn't decide to do it then and there.
Okay.
Because there's relatively, I wouldn't call it important, but it would be story context, I'd say.
Yeah.
That very much so adds to the world.
Yeah. I can see that, and it's like it happens, and then if you miss it, sorry, bye.
Yeah, peace out.
Yeah, Destiny has stuff like that too, so I get it. That's cool.
It's like I enjoy the events, and they last for quite a while, and they do this thing where the event will last for 2 to 3 weeks. And it gives you ample time to take it at your own pace, even though it is there only for a limited time.
Yeah, that's cool at least.
Right, because this isn't a game where I want to be playing it for 3 to 4 hours a day till it's done.
Yeah, it's more of like a couple hours a day at most.
Right, and for most days it's 15 minutes until these 2 days of the week, which isn't always the weekend.
Sure.
And
yeah.
then I'll put 2 hours into it. Then it's back to being 15 minutes a day.
Sure. Yeah. That's me with Destiny, so I totally feel you. Anything else? Any other secrets?
I'm trying to think, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for games.
Okay. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to just keep moving? We're at 58 minutes, so we could take a quick break if you guys want.
Who hasn't gone yet?
Me and Nabeshin.
We should keep going until.
Okay.
Unless we through this month we don't have any news.
We might. I don't know. It's January, so we might get like Nintendo news or something. I would say I didn't play too much, so we can talk a little bit about this. I'm saving you for last option, so I'm sure you've been playing nothing but video games nonstop for like the last 6 weeks, so just start thinking about it now. I think the last time I was on the podcast, I had started Bug Snacks. I was on the podcast last time we did the podcast.
No. You were in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it. I finished Bug Snacks. And I loved it so much. I just want to make sure I brought it up one more time. I 100% I platinumed it. I got all the Bug Snacks. I just really liked it. The thing that I liked more than I thought was how, or more than I didn't really even expect this to be an aspect of the game, but was that like how Twin Peaksy it is. It's very like small town mystery, and it has a lot of those vibes. But you get to kind of spend time with each individual character. They all have like different relationships with other characters, and I think all the characters are very weird and endearing in their own way. It kind of, it has a little bit of a darker twist toward the end. Like, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that much, because I feel like a lot of people talk about it, but I don't think that takes away from any of like the fun that game provides. It just is super jolly, it's super fun. I was smiling most of the time that I was playing it. So so the other weird things, right? I played a little Beautiful Joe for no particular reason. I was just like watching a bunch of Let's Plays, and I was like, I want to play Beautiful Joe. I played just a very teensy bit of it, and remembered how difficult that game is, and immediately remembered how much all the reasons why I want that game to be like remastered or remade. Just, put modern checkpoints in there, or at the very least, like, boy, that game at like a full resolution would be so great, because it just looks great already. Like, as is, on its own merits, it looks phenomenal. So just something remastered, redone up of that game would be great. And I'd like to see Beautiful Joe 2. I haven't played that game.
Now,
yeah,
I question the checkpoint thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it needs more checkpoints, as in it owes itself to being more Super Meat Boy style? Or is it, I actually lost 30, 40 minutes of progress?
It's I lost 30, 40 minutes of progress. The thing is, it's a 2003 game. I don't necessarily hold this against it. It still has lives. So if you're in the middle of a chapter and you die, like, you have to start every part of that chapter over again, like go all the way back to the beginning. What I didn't know, and it's like, of course, because it's a Capcom game, and I should have just assumed that it's a Capcom action game. I'm starting to learn, Nabeshin. I'm getting there. Is like, if you die, all your powers will come back with you. So there's kind of like some merit to like getting to the end of a level and then dying, so that way you could replay the whole level and get like twice the experience for it. So that way you can get more upgrades between chapters. That's really it. Like it's weird that it doesn't, like, there are different levels in a chapter, like in a whole act, and it takes you all the way to the back of the beginning of all of them, instead of just putting you at the most recent one. So like, I died on the boss, and it sent me back to like the first level, which was like 3 levels back, and I was like, this is an older game, right? Like, it's not a terrible thing. I'm not complaining necessarily. It's just like, that seems like a thing that they might just give you more lives in a remaster, or just like make that a little bit easier, or put on like an assisted mode for me, so I don't have to waste 30 more minutes doing that level again. That's
so
all.
It puts you to the beginning of a level, not a chapter, right?
So like, I guess the chapters are the acts, right? And then there are like little level. There's like 4 levels in one. So if you're like in level 4, it'll put you back to 1-1, and then you have to do 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4 again.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it would make more sense for it. I think it would make the most sense for it to be, you start at 1-1 or 1.
Yeah, or like a mid act checkpoint, or just like,
I disagree with mid act.
fair, or just like at the beginning of that level again, right? Like, if you lose all your lives, because it's just a lot of time. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this about this game, and I didn't remember until I played it again. Of like, I remember dying and losing a lot of progress here. Yeah, this is definitely familiar. But that was just me brushing with it, just because, for nostalgia's sake, and thinking maybe I should play that game. But the real things I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts for no particular reason. It's on Xbox. I've been wanting to play more of my Xbox. So it's just kind of like a filler game while I catch up on a couple of shows and things that I want to watch off screen. And that's been great, and I'm just, playing that on Xbox for the first time and racking up achievements and all that. No real revelations with that. I think
bringing it back. I got more questions.
Yeah.
Does it bring you back to 1-1 on game over?
Yeah.
Or is it what happens when you lose a single life?
It restarts the encounter, but like it drops you right in. Like it's not like like if you fall off in I'm trying to think of like a game that does it, like an older game, right, where you die and you like fall over and then you blink back in, with like an arcade game. Like that's how it is. So like, you burn through your lives pretty quickly.
Okay.
But it was early on. Also, I hadn't gotten any of the health upgrades. You know, it's going to be skewed a little bit harder at that point in the game anyway. So, anyway, Kingdom Hearts. No revelations there. So I mean, we don't really need to talk about it. The big thing like I've been spending time with, Destiny 2, which I haven't really talked about since that expansion came out. Been filling that into like I play this a little bit every week game, and I roped Jacob Bryan into playing with me. He hasn't played Destiny since OG Destiny 2, like vanilla Destiny 2. The last thing he remembers playing was in Extra Life 2017 when everybody was over at my house and we were trying to do the raid during that that Extra Life, which was a long time ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. And I guess after that we attempted to finish the raid like within that reset, and he was there for that, and he just remembers hating that boss. But that was like the last Destiny he played. So I've been kind of catching him up, and we've been playing through the Beyond Light campaign and everything. And it's been fun. It's been fun to like. He's been telling me he's been like watching Bife videos and trying to catch up on the lore, which has been very, very good. And just his kind of, he didn't know that radiolarian fluid was what the Vex are. They're just milk. People are milk. That's what it is. Twist. That's the twist of the end of Destiny 1. Things like that. So it's been fun. But yeah, I'm really a big fan of everything they've done with the new expansion. I like the new subclass a lot. I like how they give you upgrades for that subclass. Like they trickle it out after the fact. So it's kind of evolving for a longer period of time. It doesn't feel quite as static as like the new subclasses they introduced with Forsaken. But and there's like a lot of customization to it. You have these aspects, and the aspects are big upgrades that change major parts of your stasis powers, right? Like I play a warlock, so if you freeze an enemy with a stasis power, let's say you melee someone and freeze it, one of the aspects makes it so that way if you shoot him to the point that he has the shatter effect on him, it'll spread stasis to enemies adjacent to it. So like he'll shatter and then freeze two enemies near them, and then you shoot them, they shatter and freeze two enemies near them. So like that's an aspect that you might be able to actually swap out with another aspect in the future, right? But there's just two right now, and that's the most you can have equipped. But that kind of idea of like, oh, these kind of additive effects that you'll be able to control whether or not they're there. It's similar to how the subclasses worked before, but it just lets you kind of pick and choose each individual part of it instead of having to kind of commit to 4 different parts that maybe where you don't like 3 of them. Which is cool. I like it a lot, and it makes me want to see them revamp the older subclasses with similar levels of customization, but I don't know if they'll do that. They've been talking about like what they want to do with older subclasses and everything, but there's a lot of mystery left with that. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just Europa's been great, and running around doing the new exotic quests that they've introduced has been great. They've took a lot more time, I think, with how much narrative they have in quests for guns now, and it's a lot more. There's like one that you can do by yourself which I appreciate because I play mostly by myself, and it's like a very cool quest with like this newer character that they introduced with this expansion. It's like you kind of run off and go on a little adventure with them, and there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of like what feels like genuine character and development with that. So they're playing around with stuff in Destiny that makes me really excited. So that's really, I mean, like I feel like I played a lot of I play video games pretty much nonstop from morning till night because it's all I have, but it's been mostly Kingdom Hearts lately, so I don't necessarily have too much to add to the conversation on that. But I'm in a spot where I'm like playing this, and then I'm gonna try and play Melody of Memory and see how terrible my rhythm is. Doesn't take that long to get through it, I've heard. So if I could just have 5 hours with Kingdom Hearts music, I'll give it a shot. But that's it. Honestly, I have new projects that I'm going to begin soon. I'm going to be playing through Yakuza 0 through 7 with Scott White over the course of this year. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Also, Tony, you played Yakuza 0, but you were waiting for Nabeshin to come back. I remembered.
Yep.
I don't know how long ago that was.
God, how long was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like that was in November, I think. I don't know how much
It
you
was
played
in November, yeah.
though, Tony. I don't know if you put a lot of time into it.
I think I played through a pretty decent portion of the game.
Okay.
I'm waiting to. I want to play the current one, Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get that pretty soon, and play through that, and then go back to 0 and see if I go play Kiwami and Kiwami 2 after that.
Okay. What did you think of 0? Just because you held
Man,
on.
it's so good. It's so good, dude. The Yakuza games are fantastic.
Yeah, they are. And it's good.
I was gonna say I'm simultaneously a little disappointed and at the same time really excited that I hadn't played any of them until now, because now I get to play all of them.
Yeah. And
but I didn't play them in the past, so
yeah, missed opportunity. I played 6, right? Like I played the kind of like last one in Kiryu's story, and I love it, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's, oh wow, they kind of just try and catch you up on everything that happened. So I have like a very vague understanding of all the events of all of the Yakuza games.
Sure.
But now I'm excited to like, because Scott White is in a similar boat of like he's always kind of wanted to play them, but he's just never touched any of them. And with all the 7 hype, he's like, he came to me. He's like, I think I'm gonna sit down and play 0. I'm like, I'm having the same, like I've wanted to for a while, but I think if I commit with somebody else, it'll make it more fun. So yeah, we're gonna both play through that. He played through chapter 1 today and messaged me about it. So I gotta get on that. But yeah, we're gonna do a podcast about that. So hopefully that's fun. Hopefully I'm not like done with Yakuza by the time I get to Yakuza 4, but we'll see.
They're like 40-hour games.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're gonna try and take our time with it, like 2 months per game roughly. So I'm gonna try not, because I had to review Yakuza 6, so I kind of blew through it really quickly. So I'm gonna try and take my time a little bit more and do like all the side quests or as many as I want to, and like maybe just play a little bit here and there. But yeah, I don't know if 0 is conducive as much to that, but I'm excited to check it out. And that's prequel, so that's how many years before Yakuza Kiwami is that? Do you know off the top of your head, Nabeshin?
Kiwami is the 90s. No. So like 0 is like the 80s. It's in the 70s actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because there's disco, so that's like the late 70s, and then Yakuza starts like you start the game in like the 1980s, but then like it jumps to like the year 2000 because like he's in jail for 10 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, got it. Cool. I'm excited. That's like my next thing that I'm like new franchise I'm gonna be sitting down with. So that's it though. Nabeshin, video games. Thoughts, feelings. What have you been playing?
Bullshit.
Hey man, you just heard me talk about bullshit for 10 minutes.
No, I haven't really been playing too much of anything. Wildly different from like my usual repertoire. Like I haven't gone back to those Sonic games since like the last time I talked about it on here. So
next time you're on this podcast, you better be prepared. You have like 3 essays written on the 3 Sonic games you have left or something. I want to know.
I still need to finish Colors, so and then I'll move on from that. So but yeah, I haven't touched any Sonic games since the last time I talked about them.
That must mean Colors is bad.
I'll not stand by this. Shenanigans.
I don't even know if I talked about me being Ghost of Tsushima. That was a long time ago.
That was the last thing that you talked about. Because I remember at the end of it, you were like, Ghost of Tsushima, I'd recommend it. That was like your kind of final thought on it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much been that. I did do a bit of those Legends mode though.
Oh yeah.
Katie got the bite of that, and like I actually enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it's fun.
So yeah, we did a bit of that. We got up to like raid. We got to raid ready level, and like we were going to like do the raid together. But then like I think literally Cyberpunk came out then. So like no, the new console. No, it was the mixture of Cyberpunk came out and the new consoles came out.
Yeah.
So like
What is the game here?
Ghost of Tsushima. There's like a multiplayer mode now called Legends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got a raid.
It's a yeah. So like yeah, it has a rate. We were gonna do that, but like the new consoles came out, so like she got distracted with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So that was her obsession, and like I just played Melody of Memories basically.
How is that, dude?
I enjoy it a lot. I agree. In fact, I enjoyed that game a great deal. Like supremely. I really liked it. Like it's basically, if you want to be like not reductive, but like if you want to really say this what it is basically
Theater rhythm.
Yes, but I would say more Chain of Memories, but without almost any of the car stuff. Like I'll replace all the car stuff with rhythm stuff, and that's basically what the game is.
Sounds like my literal fucking nightmare. Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat here. Jesus Christ.
Oh no! I mean that's literally what it is. I was about to say I recommend the YouTube, honestly. Like you don't have to do that because like
literally, though. What is wrong with me? I like the music of Kingdom Hearts is the thing, so it's like I feel like I could enjoy this on some level if there's like an easy mode.
I mean, sure, and there is, but
hold on a second. Is this like a new game, or is this the story of Chain of Memories?
It's a new game, starring Kairi.
Yes. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's literally all at the end. It's basically it's like Rakota as well, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Because like literally the only story part is at the very end, and like so like if you want, like the funny thing about Kingdom Hearts is like you have to play every game because like they advance the story even if it's like just a little bit. Like, this is one of those little bit ones because like when you're playing through it and go through the rhythm stuff, it's just like just basically recapping the entire story again. They give you in a good little nutshell version. So like if you want the lore of Kingdom Hearts, like you can do it from this game, and you just have to do the rhythm stuff with it. So, that's cool. And like I did all, but like like I said, I adored this game. I love this game. Like because I like rhythm games, and like I very 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 much love the music from Kingdom Hearts. It's one of my favorite soundtracks ever. So like I ate all this shit up. Like there's objectives for like which ones to do, like to get through there's special conditions you have to do to like get like certain stars to like pretty much 100% in. I myrtleized that.
Yeah.
As far as like not as far as me being good at it, but like I spent my time and I made sure I didn't move on until I got the fucking thing, and I got the fucking thing, and that made me satisfied and good.
I heard the reason that I bring up like that I do want to play is I heard there's like an assist mode or like a one button mode or something.
Yeah, like there's a lot. There's a surprising amount of like accessibility as far as like people who don't play rhythm games. Like you can play this game and like actually get through a lot of stuff with it, and I think it's super cool. Like it's the most accessible like rhythm game I've ever played. As far as like the things you could do.
I don't. It depends on what it is, but I don't call those accessibility. No. Accessibility is
not that way.
Disabilities being able to play the game.
But like
not toddler, not reducing it so your toddler can play it.
No, but like accessibility to people that have struggled with that. I think it being accessible to people.
Fuck no.
It meaning more of like more people can play this. It is accessible to people, not accessibility necessarily. They're both a thing, and they both exist. I'm sorry to report. But yeah, I like a single button mode isn't like a catch-all solution for me as someone with no rhythm. But
no. Like if you're still bad at rhythm games, like it's still a rhythm game at its core. So like.
I know Kingdom Hearts music pretty well, so I feel like I might have a shot.
Sure, but like I'm saying, like it's not like fucking like Mario, like when you have like the Nabbit mode or something like that, and you just run through the game. Like it's not like that. It's not like that easy mode. Like you still have to like actually try to get like the rhythm down, and like actually have to like attempt to like try to get through it, and like it can be kind of rough at certain points. At least the way I play, because like I play on proud or standard or something like that, and like you'll have potions that like help you like at least get you to the end of the level, so like that could be something you can use, or or have like a Mickey assist type of thing. So like
Is
you have options.
what are like the controls of it? Because is it just like the face buttons, or is it like analog sticks and stuff? Like, I actually don't know.
Like if you use like the classic team, which is Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, it's like Donald's L1, Goofy is R1, and Sora is just X. So like it's just like boom boom, XXX, L1, R1, 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 L1, X. Or because like I said, this game like it's it gives you a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like an option. It's just a game. Like you just press one button and like it'll automatically do the attack for Goofy as long as you did the rhythm right.
Okay.
So you don't have to like keep switching up the buttons to like if that's too much for you type of thing.
I kind of like that split though. And then do other characters like do different things?
It's basically just the same thing.
Okay.
It's just the rhythm thing.
Sure.
So it is basically just the theater rhythm for Kingdom Hearts.
Hey man, people like those theater rhythm games.
There's only like 2 of them.
Yeah. Didn't they do a Dragon Quest theater rhythm as well though that just never came to the States?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I just imagined that. Anything else, Nabeshin?
Like the only thing of consequence I would say I played recently. I've been replaying The Last Guardian just because but that's not the thing I want to talk about. I've beaten both the CTI Zelda games.
Oh yeah, this I forgot about this.
They it happened like 2 months ago or something like that, but like someone just remastered those games on PC and like they just put it out. Like you could get it real fast because like Nintendo's obviously gonna strike this down. So like you know, you can like get this in the like next 12 hours, download it and just play it and experience it. And I did.
So you did Wand of Gamelon and
what's Linked in the Faces of Evil.
You didn't do Zelda's Adventure?
That one wasn't remastered.
Damn. Garbage then. Which one's better?
Oh, Wand of Gamelon by a country mile. Link of the Faces of Evil is not good whatsoever. Like there's some redeeming things about it. About Wand of Gamelon that I don't know. Like for some reason it controlled a lot better on that one than Link in the Faces of Evil did. So so it's pretty funny because like if we go by my my track record, it's just Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Link to the Faces of Evil, and like I guess Hyrule Warriors. Yeah. One of them are the only Zelda games.
These are the only good Zelda games, actually. I'm gonna come to you for this. The definitive ranking over here. I mean, what a hot list. There's some other good ones. I don't know if you've heard of them, but you know, Wind Waker's pretty good, dude. Like it's.
I mean, I have them all. I just need to get through them.
Yeah,
I like the Wind Waker. I should go back to Wind Waker.
Wind Waker's good, man. It's jolly. The music's great. Yeah. Was there any like when you were like 30 minutes into this, were you like quit this now, or did you really like I'm gonna stick these 2 hours out and really finish this thing?
I mean, I finished them. Like I finished them all in one sitting because like I knew it was like it was a situation where it's like if I get off it, I won't play this again. Yeah. So like, while I'm in it, I'm gonna beat it, and like I don't know why, but like I just went entirely through the one again in one sitting. I'm like, damn, I should have streamed that. And then like when I played Link to the Faces of Evil, I streamed that entire thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I enjoyed my experience with it. That's the biggest thing I can say about it. I'm glad I know I have perspective and like sometimes that's worth it for me in a weird way. Just like to have the perspective and like actually like put your hands on something and like actually like try it for yourself. Like when I played Sonic 06 earlier this year.
Sure.
It's like, man, that game's bad. This is a miserable experience, but like
now I know.
I'm very, very glad I actually replayed it because I haven't played this since 2006. So
and now you never have to again.
Yeah.
You're like, I probably would. Just give it 6 years. You know, I'll really be feeling that Sonic 06 flair.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Sonic Heroes. So that's all we need to know.
No, Sonic Heroes was better than.
Okay, we come around. All right.
Yeah, because the Silver the Hedgehog stuff
Oh,
was
yeah.
the part. That was the bullshit part of that game.
Silver.
In a big way. Dude.
The biggest of ways. Cool. Is that all you've been playing? Is that it?
Okay, the only thing I can really think of, I got Ring Fit for Christmas.
Yeah, I saw you started that yesterday.
I started it a few years ago. But yeah, that's the thing I have. I've been doing it. It's exactly what you expected it is. So
is it exhausting?
Not exactly. Because like pretty much 20 minutes into the act, like, are you done? I'm like, I guess I am. So I
I love that reaction. You know what? You're right, video game. I am done with you.
I mean, because like all I'm really doing is like just toning up, just doing a little bit more than I usually do, and that's all I really wanted for, and that's good for what that is, I think. So
yeah, man, you got those buff arms now.
I mean, sure, but
sorry, Nabeshin, I'll never compliment you again. No, I get it.
But I think that's just like I'm pretty sure there's something. It's been months. I'm sure I played other things, but like nothing's really standing out. Like we talked about the PS5. Like there's nothing really played on that really. Nothing but old shit. Oh shit! Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, all right. That is a game that's come out.
I beat that game. I platinum that game. It's fine.
It's fine. Is it better?
No.
Oh wow! Is it worse?
No.
Okay. I was kind of hoping you would say no to both of those. It's equal. It is also fine. How did it look though? Have you gone back and done that like with ray tracing 60 FPS?
I did it like get to play that game twice because it's like 2 hours long or something. It's like 4. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
But I did one with fidelity mode, and the other one I did with the ray trace 60 frames. And yeah, it's just that game.
Yeah.
Just that game again with a newer character.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of the remastered, and I like it. I like that game a lot more at 60 FPS. I think it feels really good, personally. Cool. That's a big list. That's a good list, I think. Any other video games that you want to reflect on in your last video game segment as a perma host? Yes.
In what way?
You guys remember Halo? It was so good. No, I want to make sure. Anything else from like the last recently that you wanted to bring up? I have other questions later, so you're good.
Oh, okay. No, then Devil May Cry 5 still good. I don't know.
Still good.
Yeah.
That's it then. That's the video games talk. We're not quite done yet though. We got a couple things we got to wrap up. First, real quick, a little outro for us. If you like this show, because that's it. This is the end of the podcast. We did like the kind of news part at the beginning, so it kind of throws off my game here, but it's fine. If you like the show, you can be a part of the show by tweeting at IrrationalPod. You can email us, mailsack@irrationalpassions.com, or send us a voicemail, 404-590-1337. And our at IrrationalPod's where you can follow it for all the updates on the show and when we're recording and yada, yada, yada. And you can follow myself and Nabeshin on Twitter. At Alfighter27 is me. At Nabeshin186 is him. And for all of our video, there will be a video version of this podcast if you wanted to watch. It's just me, and then the other boys got icons on the screen. It is over on youtube.com/irrationalpassions. And we're actually, fun fact, we're Twitch affiliates now. BTW, by the way, over on twitch.tv/irrationalpassions. Kind of keeping it a little bit on the down low because we're going to do some more streams throughout the year, but you can subscribe to Irrational Passions on Twitch, which is pretty cool, and that directly supports some of the stuff that we're doing over on the website. So that's it. Real quick.
What's the game of the year, Alex?
Well, this is what I was going to ask, Nabeshin. What's your game of the year? We're at the end here, and we have a couple of things we got to wrap up. We got to wrap up bets, which I'm pulling up. We got to wrap up our video game draft, And Nabeshin, what's your game of the year?
Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah, I think that sounds good to me. Sounds good. That sounds good for IP as well. I think that just works. It just kind of fills it out. I was gonna ask one more thing, but it's fine. Let's do real quick. We've reached the end of the show, so it's time for bets. No bets this week, but it's time to resolve the bets from before. Winning with 13 points was Brian Nabeshin Jackson. But Tony and Scott both behind him with 10 points. I'm very impressed with you boys, honestly. Especially Tony, who bet 0 more times than not and still won more times than not. Yeah. I was in the last with 6 points, but we don't have to dwell on that. I think that Nabeshin that tells you the final word, which is appropriate, but we'll get to that in a second. Also, on our betting litany, we have our Irrational Passage 2020 Fantasy Critic.Games betting league that Nabeshin also won because he was the only one that drafted games after release. But I want to point out a couple of fun, interesting things here. Many of Nabeshin's initial draft games did not release in the year, which just means Halo Infinite, Cuphead, Nirvana actually didn't come out this year. No More Heroes 3. But all of the games that you picked up afterwards were pretty solid. I mean, you got Demon Souls on there, which was 24 points, stuff like that. I'm trying to see. I think who had the highest rated game? Who had Persona 5? That was Tony, right? That was the highest rated game of the year.
And he also had the lowest rated game of the year.
He also has the lowest rated game of the year, which is also super weird. And then on Scott's list, 3 of his games ended up getting pushed: Bravely Default, Binding of Isaac, and Dying Light 2. But he still has Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and I'm still pissed about it. Which I think entitles you to a pizza, Nabeshin, because you won this. I think I promised whoever won a pizza. So
there you go, dude. The come up.
Yeah, the come up. Congratulations on your free pizza. So Nabeshin, at the end of the podcast, the final word, any last thoughts, feelings you want to put out there? Doesn't have to be.
This is the end?
This is the end.
I
know it's kind of anticlimactic, but that's kind of my thing.
I guess we did kind of go over the news first.
Yeah, we did the news. That's why I said it threw me off my game.
I guess the only thing I can really say is just like thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
Not just the listeners, but you guys as well. We come a long way from you guys picking me up from a Walmart.
Man, I still remember that, man.
In Evan Wall's minivan in a Walmart parking lot, the fucking 6 of us, or 5 of us. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
What a way to meet a group of people that you end up fucking sitting every Saturday night with for 6 years. That's up there.
But yeah, like it's so tropey to say like, oh, it's been a journey and stuff like that. But like it's been a lot. I've been exposed to more things than I could possibly imagine. Like, coming from like VGO / Retroids from at the time to like being actually a part of something. And like, though I don't feel like I personally, I know you'll disagree, but like, though personally, I don't think I did as much as for the site that like I would have liked. I'm glad I did what I did as much as I did, as far as like contributing as much as I did. Try to like find new and interesting ways, whatever I could, and like and then like I just adore you guys. Like Tony just coming out of nowhere, just saying like, oh, this guy should be on the show just because he's like me writing in and talking every week. Scott always being there to challenge me in the best possible ways, and like I just love talking to him just because his knowledge is like no other. And obviously you, Alex, you're basically just like the person I talk to about like literally anything. So like it's just a lot to have been a part of this for 6-7 years now. I'll miss it. Yeah. I enjoyed it a great deal.
You'll be back. You'll stop by from every now and again. This is what you've promised us, at least.
of course. But it's always the thing when it's like when people leave. It's like it almost seems like this is my view of things, but like they always like try to like not always. Oh God, see, I'm just talking, but like it seems like
somehow just try to drag you back in, or force you to stay, guilt trip you,
soften the
like
blow by saying it's well, you'll be back. Like it's not like the last time.
Yeah, but it's always like a sort of disassociation they give to when they leave. It's like oh yeah, it's still in my blood, and we can still talk about it, but like like when you try to like add two people at the same time, it's like one of them will talk, but not the other one type of thing. At least that's what it feels like. It always feels like that to me. And like if I could be on next week, I'll see if I can type of thing. So, like our guest, this guy, but like but like I always want to talk about stuff. I'm always like I love talking about video games. I love talking to you guys, obviously. It's just a matter of just having the time and the mind space and the will of wanting to do it, and like when that day eventually comes, which hopefully it will, maybe I'll ask to be back, because I'm not that prideful to be like, oh, I can't go back now type of thing. So it's like I'm not too proud to beg. So it's like if I want to come back, I'll ask.
I guess it'll just depend on if we have somebody else. Like I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. It's just totally kidding. Yeah, no, absolutely. Door's always open. So
yeah, so that's all I have to say.
No, and I mean, look at how much you've changed in these years. You have a fucking gaming PC, you piece of shit. These two boys have ruined you.
And it's okay. You'll be ruined soon enough.
Yeah, I know. It's coming. It's very soon.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm excited, though. Because, like, then I'll be able to play games with you guys to some extent, so...
just about every extent.
60 frames.
Yeah, finally, 60 frames. No, yeah, obviously, thanks for being on the show. Remember when you bought Mass Effect Citadel DLC for all of us and said, just play it, and then we're just going to talk about it the whole show? that was classic. Yeah, I mean, you came on, the first time you were on was the Mass Effect 2 spoiler cast. And, from there it was pretty much smooth sailing, but just means when Mass Effect 4 comes out, we got to get you back on, and that'll be the thing where after you talk about that with us,
you have to use the proper subtitle, sir.
Yeah, excuse me, Mass Effect will continue. Mass Effect will continue comes out. God, imagine the name of that game. We love you, man. Obviously, I think I speak for all of us when we say that, but you will be misloved and never forgotten, and we'll be back probably before we know it. So that's it. That's the show. Thank you, boys, for hanging out, for talking. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for our opening music of Two Player Co-op and our closing music of The World Is Saved. And of course, the biggest of thanks to Scott, Tony, Nabeshin. I love you, boys. Big hugs all the way around. That's it. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nabeshin wrote the title, Nabeshin Will Continue, which is really funny. Should we do titles anymore? If Nabeshin's not going to be here to write them, are you guys going to accept my shitty titles?
I don't know, dude. They're pretty bad.
I know they're pretty bad. Here's what the thing is. If we don't do titles, then I'm just going to come up with a title on my own independently, and I feel like I should include you guys at the very least. So. This time, it was about video games.
Oh.
I think, yeah, this is a good title. Nabeshin will continue. Just to let everybody know that, you didn't just die at the end of the podcast. Who wants to say the episode number? I think I got a guy to say the title part.
No, you got it, Alex.
All right. You're listening to the Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 490.
Nabeshin will continue.
That's it.